Hello everybody, this is Demon Phoenix. Continuing with my low level New Game Plus Piercing Cold playthrough on Deathmatch. Now, the reason we're doing it at low level is because Piercing Cold gets less effective in New Game Plus because the enemy's sign resistance skyrockets, so Aard stops knocking people down. So instead what I've done is started at a lower level as possible on New Game Plus after finishing the main quest on my no armor Deathmatch playthrough at level 31. Got together a bunch of the stuff that I needed for this playthrough before starting New Game Plus, and then started it as low level as possible. So that's very effective. I've also on the actual playthrough itself so far done a bunch of quests early in episodes 2 and 3 because I really wanted to use the Nilfgaard deck to its fullest potential instead of having to wait for later as you would in the normal course of the game. So it's been pretty good. I've enjoyed doing that so far. So just going to carry on with this stuff, starting out with a couple of Gwent games before I go and speak to the Baron and do his quest and things like that. Now I had actually done this already, but the problem was that basically I didn't have the microphone on when I was recording the episode, so yeah, that was a problem. So I'm just redoing it now. I'm going to take advantage whilst I've got the Biting Frost on of using these spies. And then I'll just win by playing one of the cards outside of that row, so that's very useful. I've got a bunch of medics and decoys as well, so we'll see if they play any spies themselves. He doesn't seem to have the strongest deck, so probably not. And see what they end up playing. So what I'll do now is, just because they've used that one, I'll just put a bit of pressure on by using the hero cards and be able to waste my Biting Frost as well. And then I'll make them use up some of their cards and then win with these in the next round and replay these ones from further down as well. Now I've got a couple of decoys. I'm not going to need to use those from the look of things for any of the spy cards, because it doesn't look like they have a medic to replay one of them and they've not played any of their own. So instead I'm just going to use that one, waste some more of their cards, and then see if he's able to win this round, and if not, then I'll be able to win it quite easily. Looks like they might fall short if that's the best they have to play. Easy win there. Just going to play these couple of Gwent games. I was debating what I want to do with the Baron's quest. When I was recording it just before without the microphone, I actually killed the botchling, which I virtually never do, but that's quite an interesting way of doing it, so I'm going to do that this time as well. Because normally I'll just, save the botchling, but I do that virtually every time. I've only actually killed it once, so I'll do it this time just to have something a little bit different going on. So we'll see. Okay. So we just got to check the sound's actually coming through, which it is this time. Whoops, I accidentally switched the decoy over there, never mind. But I've got all three of my spies, and all three of my spies apart from what's it called? Mysterious Elf. So I have a extremely high chance of winning this one. So I always play the highest value spies first in round 1. Because then if the opponent does decoy them back like he has done there, then when they play them on your side, they're playing a higher value spy card. So let's play all these spies, see what we have to work with before we go forward with anything else. That's a very easy win. And then use Relentless, so we've done high stakes early so that I could have Relentless, because that's tons of fun doing that as well. And Relentless is something you normally have access to really late in the game, so you only get to use it properly later on, because high stakes is a level 26 quest, but doing it this way, I have no problems with that at all. So just going to use these medics just to play a couple back, get another spy. Probably don't actually need 2 Scorches in the deck. I might take one of those out. Just useful to have Scorch for the monsters and versus Known Realms deck. So it looks like maybe they don't have any medics to be able to play these spies back again, so I don't really need to save the decoys. That being the case, I can just force them to use all of these cards. Ah, so they do have a medic. They're going to just play Yen, get that back. But I'll be able to decoy the spy and play it back again. At some point I'll probably get Mysterious Elf because I've pulled that many of the cards out of my deck already. So I can probably win this just by playing this spy and then playing Ciri, to be perfectly honest. This is why I want to keep some of the hero cards in your deck. Yeah, I mean, obviously I could absolutely destroy them in round 3, but no real need. They're not going to be able to compete with the hero cards there anyway, so. So having the hero cards sort of protects you from the weather effects that some decks will use against you. It's very useful for that. Alright. Now I've just got to go and talk to the Baron. Like I say, I think I will just kill the botchling, just for something a little bit different this time. Put the oil on before I forget. Meditate just to get all my potions back. Using a piercing cold with alchemy based delayed recovery as well. Never really used delayed recovery. Technically the best use of it is to use it without acquired tolerance, as acquired tolerance shouldn't really be necessary. But in this particular build I am using acquired tolerance with it. So the way that it works is a delayed recovery will let your potions last indefinitely if you are using them. Will let your potions last indefinitely if you are using them from, what's the word? If your potion toxicity is over 70% of your maximum. So that can be extremely good. But you'd have to keep your toxicity over 70 out of 100, and most potions take, well, all the potions take at least 15 points. So you have to very carefully monitor your potion toxicity and keep applying potions as you get to as your toxicity drops, which in the heat of battle is quite difficult because the toxicity drops relatively quickly. So I don't like using delayed recovery usually for that very reason. But if you do put the extra slot for acquired tolerance, it becomes a lot easier to maintain because you have enough toxicity to just apply all of the potions at the start of battle, and you have a lot more leeway to keep the potions topped up as well. In fact, why am I jumping off Roach? I don't need to jump off Roach, it's quicker to ride her. So yeah, that's why I'm using acquired tolerance and delayed recovery in this build, just for the convenience. And I find that it's a lot better. Oh, for goodness sake, it's a lot better using the skill like that. Like usually, even though it is technically better to use it without acquired tolerance or any other alchemy skills, it's just such a pain in the neck that I find that in practice the toxicity often drops too quickly, or I forget to reapply potions. Or it's a lot of hassle going into the menu to reapply certain potions, or you just only apply the ones that are held on your quick select menu, and so it really just takes too long a time to be faffing in the menus, too much meditating, and I don't really like using delayed recovery because of that. But when you have the acquired tolerance, you have that extra toxicity. It's a lot more user friendly, and so it's worth having the slot for that, in my opinion. Alright, so we're just going to sort all this stuff. And then we'll go from there. Just save these people. Or horses. Or both. Gonna run through there. Good use of Aard. Let's get all this stuff sorted. Save all the horses and you. Don't know if that actually makes a difference, but I always do it anyway. Okay, so saved all those people, then we've got to fist fight the Baron. We really, really despise fist fights on Deathmarch, but this one's a pretty easy one for whatever reason. That's doing... Ah, yeah, you can't use potions whilst they're there. Probably could have applied them beforehand, but he's not a difficult fight, so... Although he does a ton of damage, it doesn't really matter. Alright, so we get all this stuff, blah 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 blah. Skip through all this stuff. Not really worried about this. Just gonna skip through all the options there where we know how to do it. Don't really care. Got the wolf mask, I've just left that on just for the hell of it. And then I'm going to, what I'm actually using gear wise is the Grandmaster Griffin set. So the bonus of the Grandmaster Griffin set, when it's the Grandmaster one, is that if you have 3 pieces of Grandmaster Griffin gear, you can double cast regular signs, so you can cast like Aard and Igni, or you can double cast Aard twice or Igni twice or anything like that, which is incredible. And also the 6 set bonus is even better. It's when you stood in an Aard trap, you get a ton of different bonuses. So the trap itself is 40% larger. You get a 100% sign intensity boost and a 20% reduction to damage when you stood in it, and your stamina regeneration is 5 per second faster. It's just insane. So that's really, really great. I'm just going to get my potions going for delayed recovery. So get all of those used. And I'll just top it up before the actual fight begins as well. Just going to complete that. And then unfortunately we're going to try and fight the botchling, because we try and do things very slightly differently. So let's do this. Alright. So you can quite easily save this thing, but like I say, in the first playthrough, the Deathmarch No Armor one, we did this one way, and now we're just going to do it another. So, okay. Get a ton of fire damage on there, because this thing can't really be knocked over. So the fire damage is the best way to go. So the double casting is incredible for that, and as you can see, the fire damage just took it out before we could even really fight it. So anyway, you said it's unavoidable, but it's really not unavoidable. You can avoid it very easily, but never mind. So yeah, that's the power of the fire damage. If you have the high enough sign intensity to be able to burn things, that goes down extremely quickly. Poor thing. Oh, you get a lesser red mutagen from it. That's quite interesting. I suppose that's because it's sort of like an Alghoul, and they can give you lesser red mutagens. Interesting. Alright. So we've got everything sorted there. Do you have anything that we want to put in the stash? Inventory's looking quite full, actually. Might want to go and dump some stuff. Just been mostly saving things, because I'll sell them in Toussaint later, because the armourers and blacksmiths there have more coin for a start, and they give the best price in the game for a second. So I'll just save that stuff up and do that later. Then I'll have to make my way to Midcops.
Remember me. Whenever.
All right. Dump a bunch of stuff here. Take me a little while to afterwards, but never mind. See that those Grandmaster Griffin swords have higher damage than a lot of the swords we've got, but the 32% sign intensity boost, which is 22% from the actual sword itself, and then 10% from having 2 Greater Vela's runestones, really does make a massive difference. And it's proven extremely useful since I've switched to that gear. But the main reason is just to stick with those swords, is even though their actual damage is a little bit lower, that 6 set Griffin Grandmaster bonus is just insane. So I'll stick with this full set for a very, very long time, I would think. Probably for the vast majority of the game, if not the whole thing. Alright. Dump some of that stuff, and that's cleared up a cool 50 inventory weight there. Could just sell or dismantle some of that stuff, but you always want to do that with a Grandmaster armor who gives good prices, or a Mastercrafted armor who gives good prices, really. So I'll just do that this way instead for now. There's a bunch of stuff up the ladder up that way, the stairs, if you want to go and collect things in a regular playthrough, but I don't really need to do that this time. Because even though I'm fairly short on money for a New Game Plus playthrough, I don't really need the money for anything, because I'm going to stick with this armor and swords for a very long time. So I don't need to be making any other sets, really. I may actually, I'll have to make the Legendary Griffin set, the New Game Plus version, because I'll have to start that from scratch, with a view to eventually getting the Grandmaster set for that, the Legendary Grandmaster set. But to be perfectly honest, the point of this playthrough is just to play through at a lower level, with Piercing Cold being effective. So, by the time I get to that sort of level, which will be level 40, level 70-ish, at some point in the DLCs, the Piercing Cold will be starting to lose its effectiveness anyway. So I'll probably be done with this playthrough pretty soon before then. Because if you're using a science-based thing, I'd have to go to Conductors of Magic, and it'd really just be Igni and Quen at that point, because Aard does lose effectiveness as you get to the high levels. So I want to see how long Aard and Piercing Cold can remain effective for. And that pretty much necessitates using this this version of the build and this version of the gear. So I've just got to do family matters first. If I can stop getting Roach stuck on things and actually ride her correctly. And then I'll head to Mid-Copse afterwards. Got to do the blood ritual now. Where is the pillar? Oh, there he is. Just gonna do this bit as well. Okay, so I want the Aard one so that I can make another couple of greater glyphs of Aard when I get to Toussaint and the Master Armours are available. Okay, not going to sell any stuff to the Pillar because he gives really bad prices for stuff, so I'm just buying them for convenience because I don't really need the money for anything else at the minute. So, alright, so just going to go do this stuff, and we want to clear off the toxicity because we'll be using these potions again in a minute. We've got a few load of spectres to fight, so we'll do that first. So yeah, you don't have to meditate to restock your potions if you wanting to use them all again for delayed recovery. So like, I could have just meditated there and used an alcohol and that would put me back to like full of everything. But still got plenty of potions to be able to use. And so using them like this with acquired tolerance, I can just clear it off with a white honey and then use all the potions again. So that saves me on alcohol. So if I did that like 2 or 3 times, then I would use only, you know, alcohol once or every once or 3. I'd be meditating like, you know, 2 or 3 times too often if I was to do it the way where you just meditate every time. I hope that kind of makes sense. Ended up a bit rambling, but basically if you're using delayed recovery like that, or you just want to clear off the toxicity and you still have the potions available to use, you don't have to necessarily meditate, you can just use the white honey to clear it off. Right, so this is the thing where you can double cast regular signs, so you can see here that I can just double cast like that, which is ridiculous. And when they're grounded, they take extra damage. And they also have a chance to instantly die. and you can finish them off like that if they don't instantly die anyway. So there's absolute lethality when you're using this build, and Aard can actually knock people down, which is why it's such a shame that normally it doesn't work properly in New Game Plus, because this is why I wanted to do it this way and have everything effective all the time. That was without even having the potions up, so when you have the potions up you have a ton of other stuff, you know, going on there as well. Particularly the ones that really matter with delayed recovery, that make it such a cool skill compared to using the other alchemy options, which are a bit easier and more consistent to use, is that you can have the superior swallow and superior blizzard effective all the time, and then some. So there are a lot of bonuses of doing that, but in particular superior swallow and superior blizzard don't last very long at all, whereas with delayed recovery they'll just last indefinitely if you can keep the toxicity above 70%, which is insane. Alright. Now I do have magic trap as well. I'm just going to put that down and then take them on. I always forget that I've even got magic trap because I never use it on an unusual build, but I'm just going to put magic trap down there, and then I can use that and keep the fires there. So I want to be within the Aard trap for the extra damage that it gives and the damage reduction, and the then I want to use all my potions again so that I get everything powered up there. So just going to apply all the potions, and now we'll have superior Tony and superior blizzard and everything else. And you can see the actual damage we get there as well. I keep a magic trap up. And we also need to keep the fires out, so fires up, so I'll have to watch out for that. So you can see the actual pure utility of using these is incredible, because there you've got superior blizzard, which is the slowdown effect. And it's just so powerful all the time, like, it's ridiculous really. And that's why I've really been enjoying this playthrough so far, and this is why I wanted to try it this way. So again, even though the piercing cold doesn't actually do any damage to these things, you get the slowdown from the freezing effect, and then you get superior blizzard as well. It's just incredible. And you can double cast everything there as well. So like with the 3-set Griffin bonus, I can use Aard to be stood in the trap like that, and then instantly use Griffin as well, Quen as well, without it taking up my stamina again. Get a magic trap down and get the fires lit and complete that bit. So you can see there the power of how we use this build and the things that complement the sign usage, particularly delayed recovery and all of the stuff. So pretty incredible. Alright, so we're just going to skip through all this stuff. Yeah, don't really care about this, blah blah blah. So, just going to go and speak to this Wojtek fella, who Dea, the Lubberkin, would have led us to usually, if I'd have done it the other way. But not this time. On we go. Still got my wolf mask. I think I'm just going to leave that there for a little bit. I don't know why. Just feel like it. Feel like it complements the gold or the shimmer of the Griffin armor quite well. The Griffin armor looks a ton better when it's like dark and raining in Velen. It suits it a lot more when it's like a bright and gaudy environment like Toussaint. I don't like how the stupid breastplate thing looks. Now we don't actually need to kill these monsters, but we're going to do it anyway. Got the instant kill there, that was the slowdown. You can see it there as well. And you can actually double cast the regular Aard. So you have an even higher chance of inflicting the instant kill mechanic. And you can see how quick everything is with the stamina regeneration. Just phenomenally powerful. And this is why I really wanted to do this playthrough, because I love Piercing Cold. It's like such a cool mutation. It's the only one that's even vaguely close to Euphoria in terms of power when it actually works properly. As you can see there, it's a different sort of power. So yeah, really good. But yeah, tons of fun. And really, really fun. Really good. Grab those stuff there. Toxicity will wear off now, but again, I'll just either use a white honey, or I'll just meditate if needed before the next actual encounter, wherever that will be. We've got to speak to this fisherman, and then I will be making my way to Midcops to do Kira's Wandering the Dark quest, which will be a ton of fun with this build as well. So you can see there my toxicity's just dropped below 70, and that's why all the potions that would have run out already have just suddenly stopped being active. Grab this stuff down here first. Not that I really need it, but you never know. I didn't really think I'd need any... I wasn't very good at... as fastidious about looting things as I would have been usually in my no armor playthrough, because I knew I didn't need money for anything, because I only need money for swords and not the armor sets. But then at the end, when I decided I did want to try and get the Grandmaster Griffin trousers, the Grandmaster Griffin set and the Superior Woven set for starting this playthrough, I did find myself short on money, so I had to use all of the tips and knowledge at my disposal to be able to gather all those crowns together. And eventually I was able to get enough money together without having to do a load of quests and level up unnecessarily. So that was an interesting little challenge. Just gonna skip through this stuff. Alright, so we've got all that stuff. Alright, so that's all that stuff sorted. Get through all this stuff. We've got to do this stuff. Spoilers, she's been taken by the Crone's Fiend. Go and figure that out afterwards. Could talk to the Baron, or I could just go to Midcops. We'll just go to Midcops. A fairly long ride in front of us, but never mind. We've got our really cool Toussaint saddle, which is my favourite looking saddle, and also has the joint higher stamina along with the rest of the Toussaint saddles, apart from the Caparison of Lament, which is the saddle that you get as the reward for helping Gaunter O'Dim instead of saving Olgierd in the Hearts of Stone expansion. Which way are we going? Where the hell is this thing taking me? Completely the wrong way, which is weird. Oh well, while I'm here I might as well grab the diagram that's here. See if there's anywhere I can fast travel to that's a little closer and ride from there. I don't think there is though. Could have sworn there was a chest in this ruins. Ah yeah, there is. It's up here. Can we fast travel anywhere, or are we going to have to ride Roach a really long way? Nowhere really much closer. No, I think we're just going to have to ride, which is a bit annoying. Never mind. See if the marker will actually work correctly this time. I don't know why it was taking me that way, or maybe I was just misfollowing it. Who knows? Let's go. That's a long ride. Never mind. So yeah, I mean, usually I wouldn't use delayed recovery. I've never used it on any of my main builds. I've used it on some of the niche ones. So obviously I know how it works, and I perfectly understand the mechanics, but that's why I actually don't prefer using it compared to sort of decoctions or a combination of decoctions and potions. Like, delayed recovery is extremely powerful for how quick... What's that? No idea what that is. Anyway, oh, it might be that guy who tries to defend Bilberry's honour. Anyway, as I was saying, delayed recovery is extremely powerful because it has Superior Swallow and Superior Blizzard, you know, active at all times if you use it properly, which is absolutely immense bonuses. But the difference is that
Come on, Roach.
about that microphone malfunction. You can get a ton of healing from using things like the Ekimara decoction instead. If you're using like a combat alchemy or a really powerful build, so healing isn't the option, so you don't really need to have the swallow active all the time. It's really only Blizzard that you miss the equivalent effect of, and Superior Blizzard is probably the main draw for me of the actual superior potions when you're using delayed recovery instead of decoctions. But if you're using decoctions, then you can just usually have enough toxicity left over with fast metabolism to be able to use like 4 decoctions and then fast metabolism for the potions you want to use on top. Particularly if you're using the Manticore gear, you can do that with the Manticore trousers, Manticore boots, if you're having a more offensive build. Or you can just use 3 potions and then use the, without fast metabolism, 3 decoctions and then use the potions on top of it. And use those 25-point potions to make up the rest of the toxicity whilst having the effects. So there are a lot of alternatives that are a bit steadier and easier to maintain than delayed recovery. Especially if you're going to have to, use the acquired tolerance skill like I am doing here for the convenience, because otherwise it's just inconvenient and difficult to use. So you've either got to have that trade-off or, it's a bit tricky there. Can I talk to this guy? Yes, right, okay. I would say that actually, obviously I did the Uber build, the OP Whirlwind tank build, which is, in my opinion, is the best build possible in the game. But I actually think that instead of using Rage Management and Resolve, you're actually better off having Aard Sweep with the Ancient Lesson decoction as one part of it, and then using something like fast metabolism in one of the other slots instead, which makes a big difference. So I've got 2 spies there, which is a good draw. I've got a 3rd spy in as well. Need to take one of those Commander's Horn out, but I keep forgetting to take it out of the deck because I now have Dandelion, so I usually have that instead because you can replay that with a medic. So we'll see. So I'm just going to play all this stuff first. Should win this pretty easily. Because the rest of his cards don't really seem to be that strong. Now the reason I did several of the quests so early relative to their recommended level is because I wanted that Mysterious Elf card that I used in the last round, and also I wanted the Relentless Leader that I just used to take a card from their discard, which normally you get a lot later in the game because it's like one of the absolute best leader abilities, but here I have it really early, so that's a ton of fun. Now I imagine they probably do have some medics somewhere, so but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to pile on with this. I've got more than enough medics if I need to play them for the rest of it anyway. Take that again. Got my Biting Frost card there. So with them clearing that, then I might as well just stick to this round. There's no real need for me to pass to the next round, so I'll win easily anyway. So and they do have the ability to play that Torrential Rain with their leader, but it doesn't really matter. They get to play one more card. They've already played Villain Tretometh, so they've wasted that. And And now they lose. Could have quite easily used the Scorch there first and then Villain Tretameth, and if I'd needed to then I would do that, but no real need. Smashed. It's so powerful when you get all of those Dandelion and the 4 cards together. Smashed.
What else? Corpse?
Oh, I forgot to buy the maps from that guy. I'll go back and get those in a bit. There we go. Play this guy as well. Having those Scorches is actually very useful a lot of the time, so I maybe do keep 2 of those in the deck, particularly for, you know, the deck like the monsters like that. And that Biting Frost is supremely useful for the monsters deck, which is why I always leave 1 in there. If you get the chance of getting that, that's very helpful. Let's see, so they've just given me that round straight away, which is weird. Never be afraid of using the powerful cards if you have the medics in the background. That's always very useful. Let's play these here. Doesn't look like his deck is anything even remotely to worry about. I'll just play this, wipe out a few of their cards. Weird. Might as well use this just to waste a turn, seeing as how they don't really seem to have anything particularly useful apart from that. I'm probably just going to lose this one outright. Even if they do have more cards, I'll just Scorch them with Vil anyway. Wow. I mean, this really doesn't matter at this point. I can win this however way I want. I got 3 medics, so I might as well use this one as well. They're going to lose anyway. So I could have, even if I'd have lost that, I'd have used Relentless to take one of my spies from their discard pile. And then done that afterwards, so pretty ridiculous. Get this stuff here. Listen to this bit about how you get to the pond anyway. Not that we don't know where Kira is, but, you know. It's quite funny because I think her hut's actually on the map. So it's like you could just go straight there anyway if you really wanted, but never mind. And I want to be able to find Haddy as well. There he is. Now he actually does have quite an interesting deck. So he may prove a bit of a challenge depending on what we get, but we'll see. So Haddy plays Gwent. Let's have a look. He plays Northern Realms himself. Get 1 spy there, so that'll do. A couple of decoys. Got these and got a medic as well. That's quite an interesting one to get the biting frost there. Probably don't need that so much, but at the very least I'll be able to use it to waste a turn. So I've got plenty of decoys and plenty of medics, so I can use these cards to get a lead. And then use them again later in the second round with these. And if I need to, I can also decoy the medics and use those as well. Nice. This is why a Scorch is useful to have in the deck a lot of the times, to deal with things like that. Right, so we're just going to keep that. See what I get from these spy draws. That's very useful to have. Okay, so I'm just going to take this, use my leader ability. To take this as well. And then win that round. And then I have quite a sizable advantage in cards for the next round. I'll probably not be able to use that Biting Frost because the ones that I've got are obviously, you know, those type of cards instead. So here's the Impenetrable Fog, which is kind of interesting. But I have Yen and I have all these cards, so should be genuinely alright, I think. And even making him waste that Scorch like that. So this is the fantastic thing about the Nilfgaard deck. You've nearly always got your options and you can nearly always get spies back, particularly with Relentless and things like that. So now I have 5 spies, so 5 medics, all 5 medics from the deck, so I can replay all 5 of these cards. And gradually just replay all of the powerful stuff like that. And so, yeah, there are a ton of different tactics you can use and things like that, even against people who do have strong decks. And you can normally end up outlasting your opponent and winning your games like that. Tons of fun. Got the Vernon Roach card there. It's a good one, a 10 strength hero card for the Northern Realms deck. It's the same guy I just played there. Alright. Now I've got a swarm of Neckers that'll make their way. Did I just hear it? I thought I heard a griffin or a cockatrice or something. Anyway, so large stone. And you get attacked by Neckers, but that's cool because Neckers in this playthrough will just be a good source of mutagens, so that's all I really need from them. Double cast there. Cast Erden, then cast Quen. And then can just double cast Aard. Don't even need to use the potions and things for an easy fight like this. Can just double cast until they get instant killed like that, or just knock them out as well. Good little source of mutagens. Get some lesser blues there from the Neckers. Always worth taking them out for that, especially because they're easy, especially, you know, with a good build like this. All right. So we found the witch, who turns out to be Kira Metz.
Yes. Cows up. No. Rest.
Alright then.
Anyone home? Ordinary ointment. Nothing special.
Grab the stuff from in here. I think there's usually some dimeritium or something useful down here. I can't remember what exactly, but some places you tend to get, you know, good items on every playthrough. Greater Vela's Runestone, take that. Dimeritium ore, so yeah. Some things it's always worth looting. This tends to be one of those places. Steal Kira's dimeritium and a Greater Vela's Runestone, always helpful.
A pentagram in chalk. Don't often see baubles like this in Velen. Oh.
Okay, so we'll say hello to Kira. All of Kira.
Well,
Off we go.
nice.
I was wondering how long it would take you, Geralt.
Uh-huh.
Stairs. Don't be shy. Greetings.
I hate when you have to walk everywhere, it's boring. There's Kira.
You're a man.
I be-
Alright, so we're just going to skip through all this crap.
Sip.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
it's oh it was
Right, alright, so let's go speak to Kira,
no.
and then we've got to go
What?
and do Wandering in the Dark, which is actually a ton of fun. I'll just go and do that straight away. I need to meditate first just to make sure I'm stocked up on potions. Although I think actually I've got enough left, and you can meditate at various points through this quest anyway. Hello in the chat, by the way. How are we doing? Hope you are well today. Just gonna grab this stuff and then get on with Wandering in the Dark. Could actually use the cat potion with the delayed recovery here as well, but it will last literally indefinitely with the rest of delayed recovery. So not quite sure if I want to do that. I may do a little later. Who knows?
The what? Can you teleport? Hurry up.
Yeah.
Not sure I like any of this.
Oh, stop your whinging, Kira. Right, let's try it with cat, and I can always meditate and see how it goes. If I don't like it, I can always take it off again. Okay, so we've got everything active there.
Follow me.
Take all this stuff out. Burn these things pretty easily. And kill these pretty easily as well. I could just finish that off, but I like trying to freeze them with Aard first because it's fun. Right. Okay, so we just got to find all these bits here. Not as fussed about exploring this place, to be honest. There's nothing major that I really need. Like, I was always exploring for alchemy recipes and things in the first playthrough, but in the interest of just getting through things, I don't really need to do that this time. So I'm not going to really do as much like that. Keep everything topped up. Got to get rid of all these stupid rats again. And these will be the dreaded New Game Plus rats. So I have to be very, very careful with these. You really want to turn enemy upscaling off for those bits, really, with the rats, because they're superbly overpowered because of the weird way that the upscaling mechanics work. But alright, let's go. Alright, so got all this stuff sorted. And continue on. Alright, so we've got all this stuff there, that's all good.
Well then,
Right, where are we going? We are going this way.
an old elven.
Bunch of wraiths and things like that, so I'll just get the stuff going there as well. Where are we at? Like I say, normally I would sort of explore in these areas, but not too fussed about doing it this time. They're hardly doing any damage anyway. And use a couple of heavy hits to finish them off.
Terrible idea. What happened?
Well, he survived.
Wait for this thing to catch up. I can stun these with the... so even though Aard Sweep won't obviously knock these things over, because they can't be knocked over, you can still do a ton of damage and slow them down, which is the main draw of using it in combat. And the effects are even more pronounced if you do it whilst you are in an Erden circle with these as well. So see there, I used Quen and then Erden straight away. And then obviously Kira got the hit in to finish it off. So you can take these things out very easily. Now you can go exploring, there's stuff to go and find over there, but I'm alright for now. And because I have the what's the word? Because I have the Golden Oriole active, I'm actually not taking any damage from the poison. It's actually healing me as well, so that's quite fun. And just double cast Aard there again, so even though it's not a very sword attacking focused build, it's still, if you have the right stuff in it, it can be very useful. So I could actually have got the points from Skellige and put those into Rend and things like that as well. I've chosen not to do that this time. One of the things I never actually do is fight these wraiths, the Geralt Spectre wraiths, because I already know how you do those. I already know which one it is that you choose. But I think I might just see how that fight goes, just for a bit of something a bit interesting. Let's see.
Rejection.
Si then, mi forte sol esser.
Alright. Yeah, so if you find the wrong thing, you have to fight the Geralt and Kira wraiths, I think.
Mi forte sol esser.
Let's see how this goes. Yeah, so if you find the wrong thing, then you have to fight these sort of wraith things.
Can't see any connection to Kelpie.
Whoa!
Everything. I wonder what all this means.
Wow, that did a lot of damage.
Are you all right?
You might say so, monster. Looks a bit
Ah, that took all my potions off as well. That sucked. What the hell was that?
Harold, what the hell is that?
What the hell is that? Wraiths.
another security measure. Damn it all.
Cool. See, now I don't usually do this fight, but I just want to see how it actually goes with this. So let's see how that works. So let's see this Geralt. That's alright, as long as Aard Sweep still works. So this can actually be really difficult, but like, obviously not right now.
Now focus on the fight.
Wow, this is so powerful, man. Easy. Wow, that was ridiculous. Well, I was expecting that to be some sort of, you know, bit more difficult challenge, but Always fun.
Took a shot at the person.
Just thought it'd be interesting to try that, so yeah.
Felt uncomfortable.
You got like some tiny little extra bonuses that you don't normally have to consider, like cat and killer whale being constantly active throughout these areas, which is kind of fun. Would actually have been more useful if I'd have gone to explore the other areas, but never mind.
Kelpie.
There is Kelpie, the horse.
Almost exactly like the last one. Let's see what this does.
Look, they're opening.
Oh, we've got the Hounds of the Wild Hunt coming up soon as well, so I'll have to see how that goes. The only thing about delayed recovery is if you want to, you know, minimize your potion usage and things, you got to just keep using the potions.
Well,
But I mean, I have so much alcohol that it's really overkill me doing it at this point, so I think I'll probably just stop it. I'll never even get close to just using Dwarven Spirit, which is like, what, you know, I never even get used to using Dwarven Spirit instead of Alcast, because I would always have hundreds of Alcast already, so really not necessary. Alright, cool, so we've got the Elemental here. Get that sorted. Beat this thing. Now you'll find with these that they really don't take a lot of damage from most things. Let's try Fire Stream a little bit. Do have Fire Stream as one of my alternative things. Not really been making much use of Active Shield. In fact, I keep forgetting I've even got it because Swallow's healing me plenty anyway. So I'll just try Fire Stream, because Fire Stream can damage these things a little bit.
I've a bad feeling about this.
So I just got Erden on there. Get Magic Trap up. See if that's any use against this. And get Quen. And then I'll try and use a bit of Fire Stream and see if it does any extra damage. So it's not doing a lot, but you know, at least it does have some effect, which is kind of interesting. And do a bit of consistent damage like that. But you'll get a bit more mileage out of, you know, using the normal tactic of using Aard to stun it. So we'll keep Erden up like that, and then because we can double cast the signs, I can just do Aard and then a hit, and then Aard and then a hit. You can do the same thing with Aard Sweep as well, but this is even easier and tons of fun. Let's use another potion in between there as well. Now I'll just finish it off with a bit of a Magic Trap and Fire Scream just for a... yeah. That was fun. I love this build. I'm really glad I decided to do this playthrough. It's interesting to see the actual concepts work out. I love trying to figure stuff out like that. And, you know, when I had this idea that you could play the build at a lower level of starting New Game Plus and that it would have this effect, I did think that would be really fun, and it is proving to be so. Piercing Cold is one of my absolute favourite mutations. So we grab all this stuff.
I've some very good feelings about you, for instance.
Yeah, I bet you have.
Several domains.
Which way are we going? I think this is the bit where you fight the gargoyle. Yeah, this is the gargoyle. So we'll do this as well. Should be able to do a very similar thing, to be honest. Whoa! Did not know Piercing Cold could work on those.
Look, they're opening.
Wow.
Let's go.
Well, that was a bit crazy. That thing is normally a really tough and very dangerous fight because it can do a ton of damage. And that's why you get all that good stuff from the chest. Did not know that they were susceptible to Piercing Cold. That is crazy. Huh. Learn something new every day. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh well.
We must activate it quickly.
Going to keep the toxicity up.
Surprise us. Look, it worked. Come on.
I hate portals. Wow, that was crazy. Right, that's all that sorted. I think, is this the bit where you have to take out the wild hunt? Yeah, maybe.
They destroyed the Major's sentries. They didn't come here for a friendly chat with the elf.
Meaning you ever thought they might have? Frozen. Or they could attack.
Alright. So here's the bit where we've got to take out a load of the hunt. Just let me fight Karantha, I'll take him on now. Honestly.
What is this? Legend, stand at my side. Darian and I.
Oh, it's not Dragon's Dream I want, it's the Dimeritium. Where's the Dimeritium? Yeah, I did have them, I thought I did.
Stay close.
So you can actually throw the Dimeritium bombs and close the portal. So that should take effect once we get to the right point. I think that should close the portal.
Hey, Nicola. We must close the Pangal's
It's a lot easier on New Game Plus because you can do that. I mean, obviously I could fight these things, they're not going to be difficult, but... not really difficult either way.
Hey, Nicola.
It's quite funny that you can do this with the actual Dimeritium bombs.
Just one more.
And stop the portals in the tracks there. Obviously you're unlikely to have the enhanced or superior Dimeritium bombs by this point in the game when you do it normally. Unless you've been exploring a lot and somehow got all of the alchemy materials as well, which doesn't really happen very often. Out of interest, I just want to see if you can use Piercing Cold on the actual... what they called? Hounds of the Wild Hunt themselves, so this bit I'll just do normally. Oh, you can, good. Probably kill them all before they even get vaguely near the portal. Quite funny. I'll just instant killing everything. Come on then. It can't even get close because of the magic trap. Dead.
Pangal's stamina.
Bored of that thing now. Alright, that's that. That was easy.
What's
Skipping through. On we go.
they blocked the passage. Maybe I can try.
Leave it to me.
Right, so I'll just meditate before we do the boss fight. Might just go and do the quick detour and beat the foglet because why the hell not?
Come, we might still catch them.
Easy kill. That's definitely one advantage of the sign intensity themed builds with the Griffin armor and higher sign intensity and stuff, is that you can just execute foglets like that if your sign intensity is high enough to knock them over. Always a bonus. Okay, so just going to top up my oils again. I've just meditated to get all my potions back. And then on we go again.
He awaits us.
Yeah, yeah. I am not concerned, if I'm honest.
Geralt,
Stop.
Time to die. Right, so let's get all this sorted again. Wonder if magic traps any useful against this guy, any use against this guy? Probably not, but not do any damage? Tiny little bit, not really. Let's try a magic trap. Just out of interest. See, Aard's not really doing anything to him because it doesn't stun him at all, but... So instead we'll just use the other signs. How about Axie? So Axie does seem like it stuns him.
Geralt, look! He's opening a passage.
Stay calm. Focus.
Just got to get away from my own Dimeritium bomb because it's stopping me casting the signs. I can stand here and just cast them from a distance and beat them that way. Easy. Keep Quinn up, get the heavy hits in there. And this is why you always need, like... it's very difficult to do a direct sign build. Because, like, you can't really... Without conductors and magic, you can't do enough direct damage. So, like, Igni's only doing a couple of hundred damage there because... the actual direct damage from Igni isn't high. It's only ever the... Oh, you can poison him. That's interesting. So that's right. Part of the reason we've got poison blades as well. So that'll do like a lot of damage to him. And we can use Axie to stun and get a hit in. So you got to use all the signs all together, really. And get that sorted. Ow! It is funny being able to kill these things from a distance where they can't even like get close to you. I need to keep out of range of my own Dimeritium bomb because that's actually stopping me from casting the signs. You can see there that could actually probably poison this thing as well. Poison that as well. Pile on the damage like that. And then get back to using Axie on this thing. So, I mean, he's got all of his life back, but, like, doesn't really matter. Because I'll be able to wear him down with the poisoning and heavy strikes like that. This is the slight problem with Axie is that, you know, it takes a little bit of time. If I had a delusion, then I could use that instead, but it's alright. See how much damage we can get with Igni. Does a little bit, and then Kira finishes him off, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm well and whole. Right, give me the hell in his eye so I can move on with this stuff and get away from here. That was fun.
All right, let's watch this message?
Let's.
Well, damn it.
Alright, so get all this stuff.
Here.
Alright, so we're just going to go through all this stuff. And we got to go through these.
Good idea.
So now we're getting the Helene's Eye. We just got to go and get the magic lamp and stuff.
Herbalist. Mysterious mage herbalist. Must have burned these notes himself. The hunt wouldn't have bothered.
Meaning he knew they were looking for him.
What's this?
The potion I gave him.
Okay, so that's everything there.
Strange.
Just need Helene's Eye.
Here. What's with this wall?
Surely if it's just an illusion, you can just walk through them anyway. Why do you need Helene's Eye?
Andy?
Anyway. Right, so we got this bit. Now we just need to go and follow through down there as well.
Let's see where the passage leads.
Go and get the magic lamp.
Lamp.
Right, gotta get this as well. Now you definitely always want to do this right away because this is like really buggy and difficult to come back to. So you got to do this bit.
Show me.
Can you track?
Give me a minute.
Just
Alright, let's have a look.
Foreguarded. The
Foreguarded.
first to light his fire dared not march on the end. The second, by the first, played a woeful lament.
Right, so the first one's not on the end. The second one has a harp.
Close to his
The
face.
third has a beast.
The fourth marched not beside the first, yet like the second, and thus they stood.
Right. Right, let's have a look. So the one who plays a woeful lament, so that's first.
let's try.
That's second.
Just gotta figure out the order.
Four statues. Wait. Something just happened.
Then the beast, and then
Movement.
the one on the end playing the lament as well. This is actually a really good place for leveling up Arendite if you you know, are doing that. If you brought it from New Game Plus, you can continually get it wrong on purpose, which is funny, and then just keep leveling up Arendite. I did that in my New Game Plus walkthrough. Recommend you try that if you need to. Right, so I'll just keep this topped up because we've got a little bit of a cutscene. Get the magic lamp
This would.
and get this stuff. Get the Erd in place of power. And then go and take out this elemental. Get that back up. Set magic trap down, and then we'll just go back to the rinse and repeat of using Aard and then a strike. Such a powerful technique to use against solo enemies, Aard plus strikes. There are a bunch of ways you can do it. You can use Ancient Lesson Decoction and Aard Sweep, or you can use regular Aard with a quick stamina recovery like Medium Armor, Griffin School Techniques, which is what I'm using here. Just so powerful doing it that way. And I think you'll agree, very, very easy, considering that's supposed to be a quite strong, tough enemy, but they just never get a look in. It's harder against the giants because the giants don't tend to get stopped by Aard, but that's where Piercing Cold actually becomes in quite useful there. Okay, so we've looted everything. Got the Place of Power, which is the main thing. That Place of Power is actually missable if you don't get it right away like that, so that's what you got to bear in mind there. Keep the potions topped up in case we have any fights as we come out of here. There's normally like a hag wandering around here.
Something here. Where's that artifact Kieran?
And we're not a million miles away from the place of power either, so might want to go and get the other place of power that's right at the south of the map in Velen. Alright, so got all that stuff. Can't run through her portal. Nice easy quest there. Right, now, what have we got to do next? We've got to talk to the Baron, that's the actual quest. That's no problem there. Might have to have this as a bit of a shorter episode. We'll see. And this down here is a place of power, so I'll just go and grab that now. Is that a hag? Sounds like a hag. I want to see if I can knock the hag over in one. Is it actually a hag? Where is it? Oh, that's byways. That's not the hag then, because the hag's normally just wandering around somewhere else. Don't need to do byways yet. That's quite a high level quest. We'll see. This is where the weird wraiths that run away for no reason are as well. I don't really need to fight them either. Ride my way down to this place of power. Take out the enemies we find down here as well. Roach going off on one if you don't keep a steady hand on the reins. So yeah, so we've done those, the main Kira quest there. What's that? Oh, Indragers. Oh, why not? See what they're like. Against the power of Aard. Can they be Aard swept, I wonder? Or not? Well, they take a ton of damage from this heavy strike, so it doesn't really matter. Don't think the Indragers can actually be knocked down. So not really worth fighting them because they'll take a little bit longer to fight. Keep that toxicity topped up because I'll be wanting to fight some enemies as I go that way. I wish delayed recovery actually slowed the toxicity regeneration. Like the opposite of fast metabolism, because that would go well with the actual skill itself, but never mind. There's our place of power.
Medallion's humming. Place of power. It's gotta be.
And there's a gargoyle there. Now this might be a bit high level, but we'll have a look. Oh yeah, so that's red skull, so that might be a bit tricky. We'll try it. Ow! Gotta keep going up against these things because they do a ton of damage. So he can be slowed down, but not really hurt by Aard, which is a slight problem. Yeah, that thing's going to kill me if it hits me, so I have to be very careful. I might just come back to this thing because this is going to be a really protracted fight. So I could beat it just by doing this, but it'll take so long that I don't really feel the need. So yeah, I'll run away from this one. Could take it out, but it would just take so long that I don't really feel like it right now. Especially because, like I say, I may be coming up on having to end this episode a little quicker. So we'll see. Now we do want our spirit elemental oil here, because there'll be a few wraiths and things we have to take out. Fortunately, we'll be able to take those out pretty easily. Especially with the slowdown effect from Blizzard, which is extremely useful. Dodge that. Stun him with Aard. Take him out. Cool. Pretty sure there's a night wraith or a noon wraith around here. I think it's a night wraith as well. Ah, noon wraith, there we go. It's going to take a while. Damn, these things take a while to hit. Wonder if magic trap will do anything to it. Probably not. $95 damage, whereas sword strikes are doing 2,000. See, this is kind of the problem with New Game Plus, though, a little bit. At least you can kill the shadows before they get any health back. Come on. Might as well take her out while I'm here. Not really having any effect on her, not even slowing her down, so not the best, but... And neither does Axie, so just have to gradually wear her down with these. And the heavy strikes. But they will wear her down and, you know, keep her at a distance, which is kind of fun. And Magic Trap is wearing her down too. I'll just meditate after this fight. She's recovered a ton of health there because I had the wrong sign. I meant to have Aard equipped, but never mind. Unfortunately, Igni's doing no damage either. This is where, you know, sign builds will sometimes have a bit of a problem. At least you've got Erden to be able to help with it, but... Oh, we've got two Noon Wraith now. Night Wraith and a Noon Wraith, that's unfortunate. Wow, I can't be bothered with that. I wonder if that's because it's like taking so long that we've got back to sort of noon time now. Wow, that sucks. Just being stubborn now, I want to see if I can actually just win this. I mean, I can win it because then, you know, I'm not doing any damage. The only thing that had happened is I could maybe run out of potions, but that's about it. I'll beat them eventually. Kill these things with Aard as soon as they come up. Night Wraith has a ton of health left. Where's the Noon Wraith gone? Alright, so there's the Noon Wraith, there's the Night Wraith. Fight them both together. They just got such a damn large amount of health. I'm actually just doing this just because I've never seen a Noon Wraith and a Night Wraith be together. So I find it interesting. Let's kill these things. Damn, they take a long time. Kill these quickly before they draw any health back. They've got far too much health for me to be bothering with that kind of nonsense. This might take a really, really long time. Yeah. Let's kill the Noon Wraith first. Come on. I want to focus on the Noon Wraith first, because if I can take her out, she's got a lot less health. And the damage from exploding Quen is helpful against her as well. That's at least doing a reasonable bit of extra damage. Got to keep my potions up. As those running out would be a bit of a disaster. Take all those out with Aard. That was really useful when I found out you could do that. That really helped. Take this thing out. Could use the moon dust bombs as well, obviously, if I wanted to. But it's not really necessary. And the good thing about being Aard lasting so long and being able to double cast Quen. Ow! Ow, ow, ow. Is that I can at least do that, so let me have a look. Can't use these out of battle. Let's get a bit of extra healing. Just while I keep my health up. I need to do that. And then might as well use it while I've got it. Keep this up. And that's the actual Night Wraith, Noon Wraith dead, so just the Night Wraith left to go. Use that bit of extra food to heal myself up, so that's good. I can put my superior Tawny back there now. And I should be alright for finishing this thing off. Just pure stubbornness, like I say, I don't really need to do this, but it's like, no, get out of my face. Especially when the second one turned up, I was like, that's just cheeky. So just wail on this thing now. How long are you going to make me wait? Yeah, a while. Wait for this thing to come back again. Why is this in Aard but not taking the damage? That's irritating. Get magic trap in there as well, just so I can hit it a bit more consistently. And get those hits in. I should be able to beat this quite easily now. As soon as you get these things where they try and recover health, you can take those out with with Aard, so that's really useful. And as long as this thing's in Aard, so it's actually taking material hits, I can wear it down a lot quicker. So I'm using the heavy hits because it's doing a lot more damage to it. Get a few critical hits there as well. Again, just make sure I've got magic trap and stuff up, so that'll keep it corporeal as well and get those hits in. As soon as this happens, want to get rid of these extra ones so it doesn't gain a load of health back. Wipe out all those spectres before she gains too much back. Yeah, so she didn't gain a ton back there, so I should be able to beat it fairly comfortably. Get my Spectre Oil back on. Just get that bit of extra damage. Especially with Magic Trap hitting it like that. Get a few quick hits in there and finish it off. Well, I know I said that I wasn't going to have that long fight against the gargoyle, but I changed my mind for those wraiths because they were just being stubborn. I don't like it. That's them done. Why not? Anyway, so I found that quite interesting. Taking on the wraiths and everything. Good little tip that you can use Aard for everything there. Why is that not greyed out on the map? I've got everything from this cave, haven't I? Well, maybe not. I thought I did. Yeah, that's definitely everything that's there. Alrighty. So yeah, that was kind of fun. Always good to find a few little challenges and things like that. Right, so that's everything sorted there. Got to talk to the Baron. There's a place of power over here as well, and a notice board over these two notice boards over this way, so I could do some of those. Bunch of stuff that we could do really. I need to decide what I need to do next. And then we've got all of Kira's extra quests as well. We've got Ladies of the Wood. Before we go back to all this, so I could either do all the Ladies of the Wood stuff, or I could do the invitation from Kira next. Decisions. I think I'll probably go with Kira's, but for now, I'm just going to call that a day for that episode. I hope you enjoyed it if you've watched all the way through. Had some good little fights there, and obviously the demonstration of how powerful Piercing Cold can be. Meditate, so I make sure I've got everything restocked. And then we'll save it for next time. So if you're watching back on YouTube, then please do like, comment, sub, all that good happy stuff. And thank you very much for watching, as always. And I will just leave you there. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day on the path.